Hey, YouTubers. How you doing? I guess I'm like just really vlogging because it doesn't seem like I see a lot of, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not myself tonight. That's why I called it Whiny Wednesday. Okay. Tomorrow's my last chemo treatment, and then go on to the what's that surgery and then the radiation. I just feel, I don't know, like, I don't know, pathetic. Like I'm fighting the good fight, but it's like I don't know, it's strange to go through things in life and then you realize just how alone you really are when you're going through things like that. Hey Amy, thank you, I appreciate that. No, I'm not really just down, you know. Like I don't want to get you down. I don't want to get Debbie down, or It's I guess I know, like seeing how I'm like doing this, by myself kind of, and I don't mean by myself like I have my YouTubers or anything. I mean, real like life family and friends that are like real, close and I'm like by myself, just like living on because I don't want to see my pets homeless. You know what I mean? Like not living on because of that. I mean, I like life and everything. I like people. I find beauty in life, but sometimes you really realize just how bad sometimes things are. So, how are you doing, Amy? Are you still here? I don't know. Hey, Terry, how you doing? How are you tonight? Did you have a good day? What'd you do? All right, I'll drop the link. Um, Let me figure this out. Um, Hold on. There you go. Figured out. Hold on. Okay. There, see, I figured it out. I have to look and see about secular human one because uh, I have to check it out. I don't know, and then I never know like which one is the real you. Like now, I think there's a clone of secular human one, right? That's what I thought I had heard. You know. There you go.
Hello?
Hi,
Hey, how you doing, honey? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. Tomorrow's my last treatment.
Good.
For chemo, but then I gotta get the surgery, then radiation is like every day for 5 weeks.
You're getting surgeries next.
Yeah,
Okay.
they have to like assess like how they have to do like a PET scan or something,
Okay.
and make sure that everything is good, and figure out, assess it, see how the chemo works and everything.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to say. Is your daughter with you, or is she spending time with you?
And she's up in Boston. She works from home and everything. She's got her life, and I'm just,
Yeah. You have family?
you
You got
know,
family support?
no, I have a sister that lives in Agawam, but like we talk randomly, and then my other sister lives
Okay.
in Florida, and that's it there. I'm just, trying to snap out of, feeling this way.
Mhm.
So,
You sound a little bit groggy. You don't sound bad or
not
anything.
groggy, I'm just down. you know? I feel like, like it's, like then it's like so apparent how alone I am, because going through something so serious and then being so
Right.
alone, you know? Do you have your
Well,
daughter this weekend?
huh? Yeah, I got her today. She's in here now watching cartoons. She's watching color bubblies, jumping up and
I never
down,
heard of them.
spinning around.
They must be a new cartoon.
Yeah, they're kind of trippy to watch. But
Are they?
yeah, I like trippy cartoons.
It's funny.
You should
My
go on
daughter used to
YouTube.
like,
They got Sick and Twisted animation. They got some good stuff on there you might be interested in. Sorry, I missed your last couple of lives. You did one, I think, this morning. I wanted to get back with you. But I didn't know you were going through all that. I thought you just had a little bit of chemotherapy and you got radiation too, huh?
yeah, it was, a lot. It was serious, and just been going on a while, like fighting it, going through it, and just uh my my downstairs neighbor is like my best friend, or has been for 35 years so far, since we were 15,
Hmm.
and I never hear from her ever. And I think that's like makes it so apparent when you've got somebody that close,
Yeah. Well,
you know.
that's the way it is now with for a lot of Americans. A lot of families are like that now. We're not as close as we used to be. That we were not having as many family get-togethers. And I was talking to my friends' parents. They're from I think pretty much the World War II era, Korean War era, and they were talking about how birthday parties, family get-togethers, everybody get dressed up, and they from what I'm hearing from a lot of the old timers and a lot of the foreigners that are coming here, Americans they see us as cheap at weddings. Like the foreigners will like stick in $200 to $300 in a card, and Americans nowadays are just showing up and not putting money in a card and not taking it serious. We're more individualistic now, narcissistic.
Yeah, we're like cold, like
Yeah,
like I don't think everybody is,
it's
but I
different.
think the majority of people are like so
Yeah,
mean that it makes other people like not be mean, but be
right,
shocked and hurt, and
right.
you know.
Yeah, that's just we're becoming a nation of strangers. I'm not saying all families are like that or all communities, but it's what I like about the immigrant communities. I just see like the hospitality. I remember as a kid, you growing up years ago, I remember there being more hospitality. You go to somebody's house, you want something to
Yeah,
drink.
visiting. That was what I liked about England. That was what you would do,
Eat.
You'd get up that day and you'd leave the house because it wasn't like you had to run errands. You'd leave
Right.
because you were going visiting and things
Right.
like that,
People will probably offer you tea. Like if I go to the Arabic houses, they bring a platter of nuts and tea, and they don't just sit there and talk about themselves all day. And people, we don't get married so that other people can show up and do the latest dance and express their individuality. You're supposed to put money in a card. The focus is supposed to be on the married couple, but
Well, now, I mean, people aren't even getting weddings, are they?
not as much. Not outside in the immigrant communities they are, but not.
Well, I mean, because of the COVID.
Yeah. Well, I mean, outside of COVID, it seemed to be. People aren't getting married and staying married, and families are fractured. My family's like that now too. Everybody's beefing and backstabbing, and
Yeah,
that's family politics. I think all families have that. So most, not all.
no, it's funny,
I'm
you
just trying.
know,
I'm not trying to be negative. I just want to let you know it's not just you. You're not alone. There's other people. And honey, if I ever said anything, I don't take YouTube real serious. I screw around a lot and stuff. So I thought you were cool. I never meant to, say
no,
anything to.
I know, I never got that from you, Terry, except the one time I was just
Right.
mad about the
I
Catfish
know.
Jones.
I know.
Just because, like, it wasn't that you did it, it was that when those people were going off on me in in the
I know
comment
that.
section, that you didn't say anything in my
You,
defense.
you know what? I think no, I probably did. I've said things. I guess the way I look at it, to be honest with you, to be blunt, I things that there's a lot of nasty things about me on my comment that I don't delete. And there's somebody wrote something, a nasty comment on one of the video I posted with my daughter. But I personally don't delete that stuff. I'm not saying I'm trying to word this without being offensive. I guess maybe I'm a little bit old school in that I'm for free speech and being strong. You're a woman. You're more going to be more. I probably should have, in your case, I probably should have said more things or deleted the comments. But I guess
Well, not even
I don't
deleted
take
them,
them serious. I
but
just ignore them. But I can
no,
see
even left them up and put them in their place
right.
by saying, you know what, I am Catfish Jones, and she's right. Because you saw how badly they were jumping on me,
Well, they're sick and
that I was
sadistic.
a liar.
That's see the doxing and emailing and insulting people's
Yeah,
kids
I don't do that.
and pretending they're other people maliciously and not in good. But see, I let people know who I was. I wasn't, but I'm not
No, I'm
excusing it.
talking about, hi, Ace. Good morning, Ace. I
But
just want to say that to
yeah,
Ace very much.
they're
I'm not
sadistic.
mad at you. I just
I
think
know.
it's good to talk about it,
Yeah, you're a princess. I always thought you were cute too. I got it. You're my new crush. I got a new.
Thank you. You're
I could
funny.
stare at this picture all day. I got a mad crush on it.
Oh,
Hey, Dama.
Ace.
No,
I
she's
call her
not near
Ace for
Indiana,
short.
Amy. Amy asked, "Are you near Indiana?" She's
No,
in
I responded underneath in the comments. No, I'm not. I'm in Massachusetts.
she's by Boston. She's by Boston. There's a
Uh,
wrestling move called the Boston Crab.
oh, I figured out the name of that movie. I don't know if you saw. I made a video about the name of that movie that I was telling you about, the independent one that you would probably like, called
Yeah,
Frozen River.
will you say it again, honey?
It's an independent movie, and I know you like them. And it's called Frozen River.
Frozen River. Okay.
Yeah, and it's interesting to me because it's about like these people who what's the word I'm trying to think? When they sneak people over the border, like from Canada.
Yeah, they're called coyotes. Smugglers.
Yeah, with
They're
this
smugglers.
lady over the St. Lawrence River. Where's that St. Lawrence River?
It's up by Quebec, I think. It's in Montreal, Canada. Yeah, somewhere in
Yeah, but what's the state that it was? Is it New York or is it?
New York.
Okay. Yeah, and she's like living on the border there, and there's like Indians there too.
Right.
And so she, does it for one time just to get the enough money to buy this trailer for her and her kids because the
Okay.
husband left. And so she ends up, something happens. So you got to watch it, but it's really good because I know you like independent film.
Yeah, I'll do actually probably do that tonight when my baby girl goes to bed.
Yeah, and the actress who plays the Indian woman, like the young girl
Right.
in it, she ended up. It was like strange to me because she's a really good actress. Like I've seen her in other movies, but always independent.
Right.
And she worked with Meryl Streep. She's worked with Benito del Toro. But she ended up, they found her dead in a ravine um, in Washington State 11 days after she went missing. So, you know
Yeah,
how I am. I like
I
to research
vaguely
shit.
remember that.
Huh?
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, her name was Misty Upham or something.
Right.
And yeah, it makes me wonder, like, how come she couldn't. I wondered if maybe Hollywood is kind of racist. Like if the studios won't take on, um, how is it possible that she's in these movies that get nominated for awards? She gets nominated for awards with award winners, and yet she ends up broke in, this small apartment with her family in Washington, and her insurance had ran out, and I'm sure, excuse me, she couldn't get an appointment with her psychiatrist to get prescriptions. They had her on like 6 different benzos.
Wow.
I mean, that's outrageous. That's a little overboard, prescribing that much.
Right. What
It
kind of
really
meds are
should.
you on now? Have you taken? Are you like? Do you take anything for depression or anything?
No, no, because I feel like, I feel better now than I did when I got on here. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank you to you three. Thank you, Amy, you, Terry, Ace. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, really, thank you, because it was a matter of just I felt lonely. I felt alone, and you guys were friends enough to just be there and say hello and notice that.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't be sad.
No, I
Listen,
know, and
if
I
you're
don't
happy
take
and
pills.
listen, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
That's right. Yeah, I don't take pills because my sister in 1984, she had died of heart failure from like the mixture of them. She wasn't mixing them, but she was, yeah, 6 benzos they had her on. Not my
Wow.
sister, but that lady missed. But my sister, she had rheumatoid arthritis. She had migraine, a heart murmur. She had different things, different ailments. So they would prescribe her stuff. And then one night, her heart failed when she was 29. Um, but she wasn't like addicted. She was just taking what they were saying. And so
Refresh
they said, huh?
for me and the some of your other watchers that don't know. Refresh our memory. What's a benzo?
Oh, those benzodiazepines. See, I don't even know either. Like, but from what I see, and like Ministry of Truth has told me, and then I've heard people talk about Xanny bars, and I'm like, Xanny bars. Like, I know when I was younger, it was called Xanax. I don't know what it looked like. I didn't do it,
Yeah.
you know. But that was one of the things I remember that they had prescribed my. Oh, somebody. Oh, is it you private chatting? How are you? I can't read it. Huh. Here
What are
I
you
am
trying to
reading
read?
it out, and it's a private chat, and I'm reading it out loud.
Oh,
Ha.
all right.
No, but I can't even keep up with private, public, this and that. I'm like, but no, yeah. So I guess what they are is like Ativan, the Xanax, Ambien, Zoloft, those things that people, yeah,
Right.
Klonopin, the things that they get prescribed. But when you get off it, from what I hear, it's way worse than what they're saying when they tell you, oh, for side effects, you might feel more suicidal thoughts, you might feel this, you might feel that. It's way worse than that. Remember I did that interview with the girl Rhea Hope.
Who?
It was a girl, Rhea Hope, and she was talking about benzos. Do you remember that?
That's on one of your videos.
Yeah,
Is it still up? I don't remember that one. No,
yeah,
I'll
it's
look at it.
still
I'll look
up.
at it.
Yeah, and well, I wanted to do more with her, but from what I see,
I'll look it up tonight when we get done. I'll check it out.
yeah, I'm telling you, once they like take you off that medicine, or you can't pay for the psychiatrist, you're fucked. From what I'm seeing, and that Misty Upham, that's what happened. She couldn't get her insurance because now she was like broken, whatever. But I don't know. So anyway, so she couldn't get her appointment. So she starts freaking out in the apartment like several weeks before she goes missing. And the father is watching, like he had to call the police on her. And then this deli across the street called the police on her because she was like prowling around the parking lot barefoot near the cars and shit. So he is watching the cop and arrest her. And the way it was going was, they were pretty rough with her, pretty brutal. And then they had her locked in the back of the cruiser, and they're tapping on the windows, making faces at her, going, "Oh, if you're such a Hollywood actress, why don't you call George Clooney? Why don't you call George Clooney?" So they had even written into the report that she was delusional and thought she was a Hollywood actress. Her father goes and says, "Yes, she is a Hollywood actress, not a delusion."
Yeah, some cops can be sadistic like that.
Yeah, they had to
Horrible.
apologize to her. When she showed up at the ER, she had like split lip, two black eyes and shit. But anyway, so she ends up going missing a couple of weeks later for 11 days, and they find her down this ravine with blunt force trauma to the torso and the head, and they said they think maybe she was trying to run from, like, having an episode and trying to run from the cops, like from her
Hmm.
apartment,
Hmm.
and didn't realize that there was a ravine. But you never know. I mean, there's a lot of that suspicious shit going on with those indigenous, you know.
Indigenous.
Yeah, why do they gotta make it such a hard word to
Right.
say?
Indigenous.
Indigenous. Can you say indigenous? I knew you could.
Indigenous.
Yeah,
And
we know.
where's
Indigenous.
where's all your crew at tonight? Where's Prudent and Ministry and all them? Where's all the ladies?
I don't know. Yeah, see, Amy saying benzo withdrawals can kill someone. Yeah, that's what they were saying. Like, that's how more potent they made these pills. And so for me, that's to get back to why I don't take pills is because seeing my sister pass away in 1984. I was 16 and she was 29,
Right.
and they told us, well, our because we were mad, of course, and they told us, well, our computers don't have the capability to know what one doctor is ordering, and another
Right.
doctor. That was in 84.
Right.
What's their excuse now? Because it's doubled up the deaths from pills and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that means like that I could accept that then. Like, I could, possibly believe that in 84 the computers didn't have that capability. But now in 2021, and the problem from like prescription deaths and people developing addictions from prescriptions, you know. Now you live right in Detroit, don't you?
No, I'm gonna excuse me, I have a mouthful of corn. Corn on the
Okay.
cob. I live on a
You know what's
border.
good on that? Sasan. You should try Sasan on corn on the cob. It's so good.
Try what?
Yes, Sasan. You ever use Sasan?
No, I haven't. What is it?
It's a Spanish spice. Like, it's in an orange box. Comes with like those
Mm.
little packets,
I'm a foodie. I'm a foodie. I'm gonna try it.
Ah,
I'm in a
telling
suburb.
you.
I'm in a suburb that borders Detroit. I'm really close to 8 Mile Road.
I don't
Like
know
in
what
the
that is.
movie.
Oh, 8 Mile, like, Eminem.
Yeah, I'm really close to it.
You should do a video, like, going around or like where he grew up and shit
Yeah,
like
oh
that.
yeah. I didn't grow up. I grew up farther up north than where I'm at
No, I'm
now.
saying where he grew up.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
you.
yeah, I will do that. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I gotta get a phone with more memory and one of those connectors that connect onto the phone that holds
Yeah.
it on the window screen so I can drive around and get film like neighborhoods and stuff.
I mean, I don't have all that. I just use my phone. But
Yeah.
you know what I did realize, or, see, is that it seems that as they say, oh, all these phones are better, you should upgrade, okay? A new
Right.
phone, upgrade. Well, I'll tell you what, when I had a flip phone, I didn't have the web or nothing like that,
Right.
but the battery sure held for a long time. Like I could charge it, and it was charged for 3 days, before it like went out. Then as I said, okay, well, I kind of wanted to get the whole screen. You see people playing with their phones. You're like, I gotta upgrade from a flip
Right.
phone. Yeah. So I did, and then they're like, oh, oh, the data, they give you what, like 3 or 4, but you don't realize how fast that goes.
Right. You always have to delete pictures and videos and apps and I had a flip phone up until like 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. I was
Kids that
happy.
are older, they don't break like VCRs and shit.
Right. Well,
I
there's a
think
lot
they're
of
better.
products that were made in the USA, like back in the 70s, are strong. A lot of things like,
Yeah,
receivers,
even if you have a
clothes,
tape cassette player
tools,
in a car,
cars.
chances it works better than the CD player.
Yeah.
You know, the CDs, look at them, they scratch all up, and you know,
Yeah, that's right.
I always think about. I was talking about last night about this album when I lived in England that I traded for Diver Down. Diver Down, Van Halen.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, with the red stripe. It kind of was like white with the red stripe. And I think about this of like one of those stupid kid things you do.
Right.
And I had a Jimi Hendrix. I don't even know how I got the Jimi Hendrix album. I think it was the person who gave me the record player in England gave me, said, here, have an album or something. And yeah, and I should have known because I like antiques, but and it had like plastic on it too, which should have been a dead giveaway. And it
Right.
was Jimi Hendrix, Are You Experienced? Studio copy only, not for resale.
Wow.
Yeah, not for resale.
Yeah, I used to collect vinyl. I know what you mean. I collected jazz and comedy albums
That's
and
what it was, vinyl. Yeah, it was an album.
yeah.
Yeah.
I,
And then I saw it on Antiques Roadshow, and it was worth $5,000 or
oh
something. That,
wow.
yeah, that was a couple years back. And
That's
I
all
traded it for Diver Down because I wanted like some American music. I didn't
right.
like Jimi Hendrix, so it didn't
Did you
bother
have
me.
did you have that do you still have the diver down? Is it in mint condition? Maybe you can sell that.
No, I don't have that. But they made loads of copies of that. But I bet you that poster that was in that Jamie's Crying album.
Yeah.
Remember the one with David Lee Roth up against the fence?
Probably. My brothers are big Van Halen
I,
fans.
I saw him in concert. I couldn't stand him.
Yeah.
His personality. But I liked him better. I liked Sammy Hagar better as personality wise. But music and singer wise, I liked it better when Van Halen had David Lee Roth.
Right.
Yeah. What kind of music do you like?
I like all kinds. I'm
Me too.
versatile. I'm losing. I
Cool.
don't really care for rap anymore. I like the classical, jazz, blues, Rolling Stones. I like that a lot. R&B.
How
Some
about you
people.
getting kicked out of the room the other night because you talked about a Rolling Stone song?
I did. I
Can't
got kicked.
remember. You said
Oh, brown sugar.
brown sugar.
How
How
can you
come you
dance?
dance so good?
Yeah, I don't know what I said. There, you know what? In that room, the host was saying nothing against gay people, but he was using anti-gay slurs. I didn't say anything. Whoever his mod is, I think she blocked me.
Well,
I
her
didn't,
name was Brown Sugar.
yeah, I didn't say
And then
anything.
you said I should have stayed with my Mexican girlfriend, I guess.
No, I didn't say that. I said that I had a Puerto Rican. I can't remember what I said. But
I didn't see it. Nobody saw it. And then I don't know if you saw a couple of people saying, oh, you were there because I was going to go live. And then Tiffany said, oh, I'm going out to eat, but later, because she's on the time difference.
yeah, right. Okay, I remember that now. I didn't say anything wrong. People are so fucking
No,
sensitive.
you didn't say anything wrong. And people were saying that's racist. All I saw was you talking about a Rolling Stone song.
Well, that was probably they think it's racist because they're younger. They don't know
Her
that.
name's Brown Sugar.
Yeah, brown sugar. How come?
Hey, how
Just like
come
a
you
black
didn't?
girl should. Brown
Yeah.
sugar.
Well, you didn't say that at least.
Yeah.
You didn't say black girl should.
But even if I did, that's something to fall apart about.
Well, it's the lyrics to a song. I
Right,
mean,
yeah. You should hear what the
yeah.
Nation of Islam that I offended a person at work and outside of work for saying that black people, Americans, a lot of them have more in common with the Nazi Party and the KKK than I do. You know, actually, a Nazi. You don't have to be white to be a Nazi. A Nazi is a national
Yeah,
socialist.
yeah.
It's an
You ever
ideology.
seen Dave Chappelle when he's a blind I don't know if the chat is stuck or just not moving or nobody's saying anything in there, but you ever seen Dave Chappelle? He's blind, black leader of the KKK.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
you seen it?
No, but I know about it.
It's wicked funny.
But a national socialist a Nazi. It's actually an ideology.
I know, but I'm talking about Dave Chappelle.
Right. Yeah, I know.
I mean, he's funny. I don't want to talk about an ideology of Nazism. I'm Jewish.
Well, I know that. I'm not promoting it.
Yeah, they would kill me.
What I'm saying is,
And you know what? That's worse than being harassed because of your skin color,
right,
being harassed because of your religious belief. You know, those people are white. They didn't get no white privilege
yeah,
because they're Jewish.
right. But what I'm saying is, there are African people and Asian people that the National Socialist ideology is one of the races should be separate and strong nationalism, a nationalized system, keeping racial purity. It's not
I
just
understand anything that ends in ism.
yeah.
I just figured that out.
What about
Our
jism?
algorithm doesn't end in ism, but it's close, and I don't know what it is.
What about jism? That ends in ism.
I was thinking of that too when I freaking said it. That's their dirty gutter minds thinking alike. 'Cause I was thinking that. Oh,
I
hi,
wrote
Amy. Good.
made up a little song when I worked in politically correct Ann Arbor.
You could come up on the panel if you want, Amy or Ace, or if somebody's here that wants to come up on the panel with me in secular.
You've
I
got to
forget.
watch
Oh,
what you say and how you say it, because people nowadays are sensitive. You know,
did you
people
just make that up?
nowadays, they cry, cry, cry.
Did you make that up?
Yeah, they're the crybaby liberals. Wah, wah, tolerance and diversity.
Listen to me. It's nothing to do with liberals or anything like that. It's to
Because
do with
I
the
got a
person
conservative
inside.
song too. They're oh
Huh?
so judgmental and holier than thou. I make fun of all of them.
You are fat and a big fat cow.
That's me.
A big fat cow.
Get on your camera, Tracy. Put your camera on. If you don't
No
want to be on
way.
camera, put your camera on your dog. Show us your little dog or your cat.
No, then I gotta hold my camera the whole time. That's what I like about live stream. I said I could make my videos, but then I gotta sit there and hold my camera and aim it at my cat. And I get sick of it, you know? And
Oh,
plus I can't do the panel like this, like how we're talking, like almost as if we were on the phone, really.
well, what are you doing? Are you sitting down or laying down?
Oh my God. Next you're gonna be saying, what are you wearing? I'm hanging from the ceiling
Are you?
from like one of those what are they, with your knees and you swing back and forth and you swing back. I have such abdominal strength, you wouldn't believe it.
I bet you do.
No, I don't. Right now I don't have any too much of strength, that's for sure. That the other day like surprised me because I'm used to I'm a bartender. I fucking run
Okay.
around, you know what I'm saying? I don't sit down at work, but I haven't worked in a while, and I was thinking about, when I go back, like, just being tired.
When do you think you'll go back to work?
I don't know. When I'm better,
Okay.
and when my hair grows back.
How much of it do you have now, your hair? Yep.
Nothing. My hair is like, that's why I was laughing the other night, saying I could like pretend I could like when they start a fake cryptid, a fake
Right.
cryptid, and I'll be the trace, but I'll be like the rake, and I'll like have a big spotlight behind me, so
Hmm.
that you can only see the shadow on the wall, and be like jerky motions, like on with the bald head. I think it's an alien.
You got a cool cap. You wear a nice, cool, get a cool knit cap or something.
I have a beanie. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, I had a yarmulke. I've got a yarmulke once. I visited a
I'm trying to
Reformed
you
synagogue.
imagine me going around with a yarmulke,
Yeah,
and I stick some freaking curls to the side of my head.
yeah, those are the Lubavitch. The Lubavitch. Do you know any Lubavitch? You ever meet any Lubavitch?
Is that a name?
Yeah, it's like a sect of Judaism. When I lived in Southfield, Michigan, on the border of Oak Park, there's a huge Hasidic community over there, and I was always fascinated by them. And I
What
picked
did you go to school for? You obviously went to college or something,
a
correct?
little bit for a while, but I went to Borenstein's book and got a book called Understanding Judaism. I was always fascinated. I like to every now and then I get on a reading kick, but I've actually
No,
most of
you're
my
very, like you're smart. You could tell you're smart.
well, thank you, but didn't make very many smart decisions. Most of my jobs, have been actually blue collar jobs, but I never took advantage of management opportunities. I had a opportunity to work as a business agent for a labor union, nice car, nice clothes. I didn't want that. I was happy being the simple life, being able to pick up and go. I didn't want to have. I ended up before I met my daughter's mother. Ended up with a apartment full of furniture, clothes, art, collectibles, comic books, all kinds of stuff, and I felt tied down. I thought, man, I was happier when I rented a room or a furnished apartment. I always like being able to pick up and go. I
Right,
like that,
exactly.
but now I
Exactly.
can't be that free spirit. I have a daughter. I actually have to get more stuff now. I have to get a bigger place, and I can't
Is
be
is she like with you like most of the time, or is it split?
split. Whenever I want her, though, I can pretty much get her anytime. I have a grown son too, but he's in California doing his own thing. And
And
she's
now, how
over
old is she?
She's 9. She's up over here watching,
9.
yeah, watching TV.
You should like okay, so a series, right? A series that you can both watch. Now, okay, maybe this one is maybe you would like it, maybe not. They're not sex ones, trust me. You know what I mean?
Right,
Not sex. They're older series. I'm just saying because it makes it quality time really because you can
right,
both watch something together,
right.
and then
But
you can have like a whole where you want to see the next episode. So you're like glad that you rented the season, you know?
Well, she does that with her mom. She won't sit. I'm more of the fun guy, the guy that we go to the beach and we go to the zoo, we go to
Yeah,
the
I
park.
got you, but you can't do that all the time. So you got to have
Right,
like a second,
right,
like something to pull out of the,
right,
you know,
right. Well, sometimes I'll do
yeah.
art with her. I'll sit down with her and do art.
That takes too much. You got to just have something where you can sit down.
Yeah,
Like
we do.
Dawson's Creek would be a good one. Chuck would maybe be a good. Um, I'm trying to think of series that she would get into and you would get into. You know, her age and you're in like
Right.
yeah. Maybe Dawson's Creek though. I like Dawson's Creek.
Okay.
Gilmore Girls
Yeah, the Rose. Yeah, I know that one Spanish lady was on there. That one actress.
and Gilmore Girls.
No, and Dawson's Creek. I thought. I can't think of her name. I might think of.
Let's
Anyways,
see.
I got to take a potty break. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I might grab a cannoli while I'm here. I got a cannoli in Brooklyn.
Oh, really? When we were in Brooklyn. Oh, so anyways, I'll just talk while he's gone. I forgot. I'm just sitting here. Da-da-da. Oh my God. I swear to God. Thank you, Amy. If you're still here, I really want to say thank you because when you reached out to me and said, know me, but, you know, are you okay? I mean, that really meant a lot because I, it's like, something that's a normal thing to say to, say, hey, how you doing? But you were just there time for me. So if you're here, I just want to say thank you for that. She could come on the live stream if she wanted to, but I don't know her name. I'll ask her. Hey, Amy. Beautiful picture in your avatar. Looks like you have naturally curly hair. I'm thinking, like, I would like to ask Secular if his little girl wants to come on and talk. Maybe we could talk to her about cartoons or something. I don't know. Thank you, though, Amy, because you just don't even know how much that meant. Like, I thought I was gonna sit there by myself, like, you know.
I'm working on a poem for you, Survivor Girl.
Hey, you should like Ace. Hey, hi. You should like your little girl just talk to the girls for a little bit. We'll talk to her about hair and stuff while you're doing your stuff. Like you can hear her there, and we'll talk to her about cartoons or hair or something while you're doing your stuff.
Well, she's autistic. Hold
Yeah,
on.
but she'll probably talk, right?
Chloe, come here
You
and say
don't have to
hi.
put her face on. You
Huh?
can don't make her nervous with showing her face. Just show the avatar. Don't show her
Okay.
face. Just the avatar.
Chloe, come here and say hi.
Yeah, that will make her more comfortable, I think.
Yeah, Chloe, come here and say hi.
Oh, Chloe's a beautiful name.
Say thank you.
I
Say,
love that name.
okay, say hi, Survivor Girl. Say hi, Survivor Girl.
Hi, Chloe.
Say hi.
You
Say
see me?
hi.
Can she see the screen? Chloe, can you see the screen? See,
Yeah, she's autistic. She's not. She said hi. You didn't hear her.
that's
That
because I'm
was
outside.
nice of you, but she's doing her own thing.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Let's not define her like that. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Chloe, have you ever seen The Little Mermaid?
She's over by the cartoons again.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't get
All
her
right.
to stand still.
It's okay.
She's
Is she
daddy's
that The Little
girl.
Mermaid?
Probably so. She's a little
I love
daddy's
The Little
girl.
Mermaid.
She's my baby girl.
Under the sea, under the sea.
That was the Disney one, right?
Yeah, the Disney one. Yep. I like that one. I like Shrek. That was funny. There's a couple of them. I was a really big Muppet fan. Still am.
If you could be any Muppet, who would you be?
Animal.
Animal.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like Animal.
Yeah, I do too. But I like Kermit. Maybe I'd be Kermit.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to be in charge.
I thought Miss Piggy was in charge.
No, Kermit's definitely the one in charge. You know, he's the one they all go to, like to solve a problem. I like Gonzo though.
Yeah, Gonzo is cool.
Yeah, he's all like, and now a feat of lunatic daring. Lunatic daring. And
Hey,
then, huh?
I was gonna say, just Ace Aldama and Amy, stop being shy. Come up on the panel.
I know. If Ace came up, you'd love her
You know
accent. She's from Australia.
who? Amy? Ace Aldama.
Yep.
You know what? I should ask your permission first. I just invited her. It's yours. This is your
No, no,
rodeo.
no. That's fine. I appreciate it. I feel lost without a co-host.
This is your rodeo.
No, I feel lost without one. I don't know what to talk about, without a Gonzo. Yes, bring back some memories. Yeah, I love it. It's time to, what is it? It's time to start. It's time to.
You know what? I'm on StreamYard as Terry, my name, but I'm
Yeah.
on the chat as Secular Human One, and it's I don't think it's showing up. I'm gonna try to switch accounts, but it might knock me off here. I don't want to. I might get. You might have to drop the link again. Let me switch accounts so that I can chat with. Well, no, that's all right. I'll just stay here.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you like to do? Like, I mean, something. I really was serious about that trivia stuff.
Okay.
Because I wanted to try it, and people didn't seem like they would be interested. But I literally would have like you know, gotten together like categories, and then I think it would be cool to maybe do like a championship thing.
Sure.
Well, I
You just
would do
gotta do it at like a week in advance. Put it up, post a week in advance. Schedule it a week in advance, the live.
I
Schedule.
was going to, but nobody like said. I was afraid I wouldn't have somebody to do it with me, like on the panel with. Would
I'll
you
do it
want
with
to?
you.
You will?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I said I'll
Terry.
do it with you. I'll do it with you.
I'll do it with you. Just saying. Because,
I
all
want it.
right, if you had to ask some trivia questions, what would you ask?
Oh man. Probably I don't know. There's so many a lot of things
What
interesting.
topic?
Music, questions like um we do that one
All right.
game.
Who sang "Rockin' Pneumonia" and the Boogie Woogie Blues?
Captain Hook. John Hook. What's that?
You had it almost right. Not in the beginning,
Cap
Captain Hook. You go Captain Hook. But I
Captain.
knew who you meant, like Dr. Hook and the Medicine Men, but no, not
Yeah,
him.
that's what I meant. Damn it.
Yeah, but you said John something, which that one you are right. It's John something.
We can do charades without doing the charades. We can do like describe something. Okay, you're on the dance floor, jumping and jerking around, playing air guitar. What race is the person?
If they're jumping around playing air guitar,
Yeah,
what race are they?
yeah.
What race are they? Human?
White, European American,
Human race. Uh-huh. Get
jerking
it.
around.
Lee got it. Lee got the right answer. Johnny Rivers.
Yeah, Johnny Rivers. That's right. He did a lot of covers too.
It's a good song. So, one you don't hear often.
Right.
Rockin' Pneumonia and the Boogie Woogie Blues. It's one of those songs that's like good right from the beginning too. Another good one is Train Train. Who sings that?
Not Train kept rolling. I know that one. Train, train. It's one of those was one of those country rock bands. Molly Hatchet.
Nope. Keep going. You get one more guess. The
Ah,
people in the room get guessed too. Who sang Train
Mountain.
Train? Huh?
Who is it? Say it.
He got it.
Molly Hatchet.
No, Blackfoot.
Ah, Blackfoot. That's right.
Yeah, Blackfoot.
Oh, Lee Thomas is on his game. He must be a musician.
He likes music just as much as
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, I was addicted to
Like
music.
that way, the way it does that harmonica in the beginning.
Yeah.
And it builds up the energy or
That,
something.
that was from the late 70s. I remember that
Yeah,
song now.
yeah. And another one that did that was Shout at the Devil.
Molly Crew.
Yeah, that was, I remember going to that concert and you could feel the energy rising. Like, before the show started, right when the show was started. Amy, It was so good to meet you, and please come back again. Amy said
Don't
she's gonna
go.
go.
Have drink some coffee. Take some
I
speed.
know.
Stick
Right?
around. The party's just getting started.
I know it is because we're gonna talk concerts. Yeah, and there was Amy. Just please come back if unless you stick around and you can't leave because you love us too much. But anyway, this devil's head or something was on the back of the stage, and the lights came up on it, and you was dun dun dun. The music
Mhm.
started and shout, shout.
Yeah.
Everybody had their lighters.
I seen ACDC. They rocked the house.
I
They
saw
came
them a
on
couple
before
of
the Rolling
times.
Stones. This was at the SARS Festival in Toronto, and I'm like a major Stones fan, but I liked ACD. They really rocked the house.
The SARS festival,
Yeah, that was in Toronto back in
like the
2002.
disease.
Yeah, it was the SARS benefit. It wasn't really a festival. I shouldn't say it like that. The SARS benefit concert.
Festival, the SARS festival.
Yeah, that's nothing to celebrate.
That is funny. I just thought maybe it stood for something else because I was
Yeah,
like,
right.
I wouldn't even want to go to a place where everybody had czars and they were like festive.
Yeah, Ace Aldama's from where ACDC is from, Australia.
I saw ACDC like 2 or 3 times, and I think it was 2 times, not three. I wouldn't have handled three. I can only handle two. And ACDC was always my favorite band. But when I saw them in concert, I think that they just did too long of a solo for somebody, while the band
Right.
took a break. And I feel like it wasn't Angus Young playing. I feel not, who's that? Is it Angus Young, the one in the short?
Yeah. What did they
Yeah,
open up
it was
with?
the
What song?
drummer. I feel like it was the drummer that they had playing. So where if it was the guitarist, you might be able to handle it.
Right.
But
What,
when it's just drums going for 15 minutes, it's like, dude, you
what,
know?
what song did they open up with?
Hey, for those about to rock. And I couldn't tell you. I mean, like, I've probably seen over 100 concerts. But Springfield used to be good to see shows because they had general admission. And then, it's an arena, it's not outside, but
Right.
it's small. So you don't have a bad seat.
Where is it?
And if you got there, you could be on the floor
Right.
where you're right in front of the stage and it's great. And then they started charging for it. Like we had a snowstorm and humble pie. What did they sing? Who is leaving? Why are they saying nice meeting? Nobody is. The Angel was my first on a blue light disco. What's Angel? See, she lived in Australia. They go to discos a lot there. Is Secular still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm writing you a poem.
I'm writing you a
A
poem.
private chat.
Uh, oh my God, Lee, you're too funny. Get this, you guys. Ace, Secular, Lee knows already. Uh, so, so, you know how on Chosen Ones, uh, how on Chosen Ones, there was that time like a couple years ago when that guy was saying, "Should I go back and dig her up? Should I go back and dig her up?"
No, I don't. About who?
And he said he had a girl buried behind the 7-Eleven, and it was like,
Wow.
yeah, I was freaking out. Do you remember Catherine?
Vaguely, yeah.
She was the mod then or something. and she was deleting this shit. And I'm trying to screenshot it because I thought it was really important, that they take note of that. And the guy said that he was out by the Glacier County, uh, Glacier County, Glacier National Park. And then he had girls tied up and they were crying because they didn't know where they were, but he would take pictures of them and he'd send pictures of them to people.
Oh,
And
that's
this was
weird.
all on Chosen One's chat.
Should have been
But
reported.
well, that's what happened. This is back before he was so popular.
Huh?
It was when he first started. And I was like saying, I'm going to call the police. I'm going to call the police. It was only me and this killer in there. Okay. And I'm like, oh shit. And I didn't take a sip of this. Hold on. It was like I was so new to YouTube that I was even using my real name. So here I am, like, using my real name, and there's a killer in the room. It only said there was two or three people in the live stream. And I've
Wow.
been up all night. And I don't know where Tom was. And that's the thing. I think Captain had taken over his channel for a little while. And so anyway, the story is getting long because wait, the long line for you, that's how it goes. SD, you will like it. I remember we talked about it before. Oh, the Jamie thing was when things went south. No, I didn't see that when I was going to 2019 when I met. Hi, Survivor Girl. I think. How? Hi, Lisa. Um, yeah. So I'm sorry. Just let me get to 30 days in a hole. So then next thing, I make a video, and just show the conversation because I screenshotted it. And when I called the police in Glacier County, okay, because
Uh-huh.
I felt it was necessary because what if somebody's daughter was tied up there? You know, like all I could think of is what if he has people's daughters that are missing? And so the police, and I was scared they were going to call me crazy, but they said, thank you for calling because we have a huge problem with missing women around Glacier County and Glacier National Park.
That's beyond creepy.
Yeah,
Weird.
yeah. Oh, so here's Chosen One, right? And he's doing a video. This was a couple of months ago. Had to be about 4 or 5 months ago, I think. And he's driving through. Oh, in the guy, the avatar, it was called Old Man Bob, the person who was saying that shit. He did say that. And I didn't hear. Yeah, and he had the picture of the trailer park, and he was driving through a trailer park, playing 30 Days in the Hole, right?
Uh-huh.
The guy who was saying about the girls, his picture on his channel was a trailer park. Then he was saying that he had a girl, in a hole behind 7-Eleven. And then he went to Glacier National Park, and he said that he had Becky tied up in the back.
You know what? I remember that now.
Yeah. But nobody knew because I wouldn't tell anybody about what had occurred and what I had screenshots of. I wouldn't tell anybody because it was a couple of years ago that happened. And he just said the other day that he has a bed and breakfast in Florida. And that's where the cops in Glacier County said they traced the IP address to. They were like thankful. They were gracious. I still think they should look into that. I you know, I find it odd. And the girl in the picture, let me tell you, it was the 2-year anniversary of this girl going missing in Glacier County, Ashley Loring. She's got a camera in her hand, and the picture where they're showing, what she looked like. And I'm thinking to myself, what easier person, like, and more engaging, really, than a person with a camera filming, and there's a young 21-year-old girl he's talking YouTube, you know? She would
Wow.
talk to him. He knows about cameras. He knows about shit. And those girls, I'm not saying he did killing. In fact, I thought for a little bit it could be you. Secular. Secular.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening. I was just
Did
thinking
you hear
about.
what I just said?
Yes, I did. I heard everything you
And
said. Everything. I'm
I
not
said,
going to
I
repeat it.
thought for a while it could be you.
Oh no, I didn't catch that part.
Yeah.
You know what? I did get pulled over by the cops back in early 2000s. And their girls were popping up missing, and I was in a stroll district. They searched my trunk, and they did find a hammer and some rope and stuff.
Yeah.
But I never got tied to anything. So
Haha, pardon the pun.
yeah,
A hammer and some rope, but you never got
yeah,
tied to anything.
yeah. They thought I was trying to pick up a prostitute.
I think you could be a killer.
No,
You've
I
got
guess
the
not. I couldn't do it. I could. I think most of
you've
us
got the
could.
trait. You're like a Ted Bundy kind of killer.
And most of us have that in us. I think most of us have that potential,
Mm-hmm.
but some of us
You're
don't have a
misogynist.
conscience. I couldn't do it. I've had opportunities and I couldn't do it.
Opportunities to kill someone?
Of course, we all have. We just don't realize it.
No, not the way you're talking.
In the heat of anger and the heat of rage.
Yeah, no. You're talking about choking them till they're dead.
When I'm talking about sociopaths. When I've had girls in my car, working girls and drug addicted girls back in my ripping and running days that were getting on my nerves, I never had the urge to kill them, even though they were irritating me really bad.
You're a misogynist, though. That's one of the traits of a serial killer.
But I'm recovering from that. I'm
You're
getting
getting
over it.
better. You are getting better.
I'm getting better.
Yep, you are.
Most of my
Absolutely.
animus was directed towards a certain kind of woman, though. I think I didn't like American, particularly Caucasian American women. I didn't for different
Yeah, but
reasons.
I think people are who they are. It has nothing to do with their,
I know
you
that,
know,
but that's just
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I
And
was never a chauvinist. I was never one of those guys that thought women belonged in the kitchen or anything like that. Or I would want a partner to. It'd be nice if the partner could work and help with the bills, or
well,
she
that's
could make more.
absolutely how it has to be.
Huh?
Like it's got to be 100,
It's
not
got to be.
50-50.
It's got to be a teamwork. It takes two
Yeah, no,
nowadays.
because each one of you has to know that you can make it if you break up. Because
Well, we
it's
should
too
be
much
planning on
pressure.
breaking up. We should go back to where people commit and don't waste each other's time and take it serious. And
Yeah, but that's not the point, and let's be realistic. Okay, we're not living in la la land. And the thing is this: nobody wants to be stuck with somebody who can't take care of themselves and think suddenly you're freaking
right.
responsible for them. And if you think that guys are the only ones who go through that, you are wrong.
Well, I tell you
That's,
what, if I come home after a hard day's work and you're sitting there on the phone, I shouldn't have to get carry out or make my own food. I'm going to
well,
tell you to
hey,
get
you know
out. You
what?
say, get out.
You know how to cook. But here's the thing. That's where you find a girl. You don't force a girl, but you make that one of your
Right.
things on your list, your
And
little
vice
checklist of
versa.
what you want in a
Right.
partner.
And if she wants to
Somebody
go,
who likes to cook. You
right.
like to cook. So
Yeah.
eventually that would become something you probably would do together and
Yeah.
enjoy.
Food's a big part of my life. It means a lot
Me
to me.
too.
But and if she wants to go to college to get a degree, then I would pick up a second job or get some overtime to help
Well,
her
why are you already
help her
making her
get
dependent on you?
help her to get her degree.
And why is she college aged? I mean, come on now.
Well, I'm
go
just
to
saying,
college.
I'm speaking hypothetically speaking in
So she's
general.
starting over her new career at 53.
I'm talking, no, I'm not seeing anybody right now. I'm talking
You're
hypothetically.
talking though where you're shooting like, oh, this lady could start her new career because she's probably going to be a loser because I'm going to have to rescue her and be her hero.
No, it's
And
going
that's
to be,
exactly what you
that's
said in between the
teamwork.
lines.
That's why a lot of immigrants that come here are successful. The men and the women cooperate. And I know couples.
Yeah, but you just said you already made a scenario that you wanted to go into it with you like saving her.
No, it's about cooperating and lifting each other up.
No, you said
Women
you
can
would.
make more than the guy now. The guy can bring maybe good union
Anyway, what
negotiated
you need to
insurance.
do is you're an adult.
I
You
need a
don't want to have
Filipino
to put
woman.
this much thought into a relationship that you're not even in.
Well, I'm saying what's good for society. I'm telling people how they should think.
What about society? What do you care about society?
Because we live
You and I both know we started
in
this
living.
conversation with how most people are cold. So why don't you lead with your heart instead of your head?
Well, we
You're
should
thinking
go.
too much about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying
You sound like you got a good heart,
we've
but
gotten
sometimes
too
you
far.
analyze shit too much and
Okay.
think, oh, what are you trying to appease me? Are you patronizing me right now?
No, I'm not Survivor Girl. I'm just trying to.
You sound like it. It's your tone. It's your tone.
I wrote you a nice poem for the private
All right,
chat.
go ahead. Shoot it out.
You want me to? You read it. You want me to read it? You want me to
Well,
read it?
what am I gonna do? Like, yeah, you don't. I don't have it.
It's in the private chat. Okay, you want me to read it
The
to you?
private chat.
You
Come
should.
on. Is it
Oh,
goofy? Is it gonna embarrass either one
no,
of
I wrote some nice things. I wrote you are the cutest YouTuber ever, and
cutest? Come
I'm
on.
sending you a passionate kiss. And I wrote
You
I
know
want
what? You don't even know. You don't know me.
I want to, I
I
want
don't know me right
I want to swirl with Survivor Girl,
now. Whirl.
the sweetest
Let's
girl in
give
the
it a
world,
whirl. Give it a whirl.
the sweetest girl in the world.
Give it a whirl. Give her a whirl.
Your pose is a rose.
Give her
I'm,
a whirl. She'll make you hurl.
yeah. No, I'm
Or
working
your
on it.
toes curl.
The sweetest girl in the world. Your pose
Yeah,
is a rose.
I could either make their toes curl or make them hurl.
Your toes are like roses.
My my like roses, thorny.
Your nose is like a rose.
Mm-mm. Nothing about me is the same. And I'm like worried about how my hair is gonna freaking
It's,
grow back like
it's gonna
Phil
come back with
Spector.
it. It's gonna come back. It's gonna be
Like
silky.
Phil Spector's.
Huh?
Like Phil Spector's hair.
It'll come back.
Phil Spector's hair.
You'll have a Jew fro.
Yeah, like Mr. Cotter. What's up, Mr. Cotter? What was the black guy's name in Welcome Back, Cotter?
Freddie Boom Boom Washington.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's talk Laverne and Shirley.
Okay.
All right. Who played Carmine?
Carmine? Oh man. I can't remember. It was an Italian guy from New York.
Anybody else know? Beanie Weather. That's what I wear. Beanie Weather. Good golfing. I like golfing too. Golfing is fun, like with somebody that you like. That you like, because you can kiss on the night, on the green, or whatever the thing is called.
Who played Carmine?
Eddie Mecca.
Eddie Mecca, that's right.
Yeah.
Tommy Highway says hello. He's UFO man.
I know who Tommy Highway is. Where is he?
He's on your chat. He said,
Oh, hi. Hi, Tommy. I'm all over here. I'm like thinking about kissing on the green. Kissing on the green. Oh, no, I like golfing. You get to ride in the little golf cart. Tommy, you want to come up? Drop the link. Anybody else want to come up on the panel? Going to the driving range, smashing the ball.
You're making me jealous, Survivor Girl. Talking to all those guys.
What guys? I don't talk to any guys. I don't look the same in a beanie as guys do either. Guys can pull off a beanie.
Come on the link, guys.
Oh, I'll have to drop
the link.
Just in case. Yes, I will.
Survivor Girl wants Tommy.
Survivor Girl wants Tommy. Shut up. You
on
are
the
stupid.
link. On the link.
You're stupid.
Lee Thomas can come on. I think. Up to the host, I'm just suggesting.
So, do you go on Bobble still? She seems nice.
Yeah, I go on there. She's not live tonight, I don't think.
No. I didn't think she was either. I check. I check first because she does her thing. She does pretty good. I don't, I don't want to compete against her. Not like I could. She's pretty popular. So
you got to give it time.
Huh?
You got to give it time.
No. Plus, she's nice and everything too. So whatever. She's cool. I just don't say anything on her live streams because I don't know how she thinks about me.
Is it okay if I invite people? Oh, I don't know who you're beefing with right now. So can I? You're probably not beefing with anybody. Can you see the private chat? Because I did a chat with me and Debbie did a chat tonight. She wanted to talk to me about some things. She wanted to resolve some things.
What, you wanted Debbie come on?
I'm asking. No, I'm just letting you know.
I don't mind. I don't care. I don't mind. I'm not. You know what? I'd so much rather just, let everybody be whoever they want to be to me. If they want to be nice and me like them, then that is what will happen. If they don't, then they don't. But from here on out, it's fine, Things are cool. I don't care, She'd come on. The more the merrier.
Messenger.
Yeah. I don't mind her. All right. I have a lot of people on here. I like the way it's a little community, even if we all argue. I think we argue more than most communities.
We have a lot in common. We all came together because we all had issues at one time.
No, you say that. I didn't have no issue.
Okay, Survivor Girl. Whatever you say, Survivor Girl.
Well, what was your issue? You were a misogynist? Want to see everybody's feet?
I had a tortured mind.
A tortured mind.
I had problems.
That's a good one.
I was mad at the world and I had a tortured mind.
You were a little mad. Hi.
Hey, how you doing tonight?
More the merrier. Hey, what are you watching? Oh.
I had a tortured. I was. I'm going back between the YouTube, back and forth between the YouTube tab link and the StreamYard link.
Were you talking to Debbie? Is she supposed to come on?
I just messaged her. I was going to write a message on her comment section.
I don't think she's blocked, unless she blocked me. But
you just unblocked me again. Tommy's backstage. Come on, Tommy's. Let's put me on.
You know what? I am a slacker. I'm a slacker. Here we go. I got you right here.
I'm totally offended that you left me hanging like that. Oh my goodness!
You know what? Because it's Secular's fault because he kept sending stuff in the private chat. So finally, I just wasn't even looking. You know how the same red little notification? It doesn't.
On.
Yeah, and I'm like,
nice to be here with you.
Other silly shit.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's nice to have you.
Welcome. You are welcome.
Just got back from Roswell, New Mexico. Great trip up back there. Saw all the UFO sites and all that stuff. Interviewed a lot of people. Took just a shit ton of photos and whatnot. We're gonna have a great show over on UFO next Saturday night or this Saturday.
That sounds really interesting. I was looking at a lot of the Salton Sea stuff and how. Yeah, so where you were was close to where they were doing those tests, the Manhattan Project, right? I mean, New Mexico, right?
Oh goodness, it was a testing ground for all kinds of black projects back in the day, and in fact, pretty much still is today. You know, it's crazy. I talk to so many people there in Roswell, and I'll tell you, it's everybody, even like the millennials, even like the young kids I spoke with. It's not that they don't. It's not that they think that a UFO crashed in Roswell. They know it. I mean, they believe it. It's ingrained within them, and everybody's got a relative. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people have relatives that were involved in the Roswell crash and all of that. And I interviewed some of those folks, and it was just so neat. I mean, it was
I
like
was
a major
thinking
check on my
though,
bucket list.
what do you think? Like, because I've been looking a lot into Bigfoot. Okay,
Hmm?
but with Bigfoot, I'm really, really more leaning towards like a skeptical kind of way.
Right.
But then again, if I look at it in a way where, okay, even for instance, the missing stuff, when the hunters go missing and everything, how there's a weather anomaly right when they're trying to look for them. You know what I mean? Like, I feel maybe there's something to do with another life, like aliens, like
B?
if he looked, how we all think that aliens look like, the Roswell aliens, with the the big eyes.
Bipedal species, gray
Yeah,
bipedal
what if
species,
they
two eyes and
look
shit.
like Sasquatch?
Where,
Or what if they could look like anything?
Tommy, I'm
They
a
probably
skeptic.
could.
Tommy, I'm a skeptic as well. I guess on the UFO end of it, you don't think their tail grew taller on the line down the line? It was maybe just a satellite that crashed or something.
Well, I can only really basically convey my own experiences, but I've had two. One I was well, the first one was the night that Mike Tyson got beat for the first time. Was at 91,
Okay.
and I witnessed technology in front of me that was not of human origin. I mean, there's just no question about it. I mean, I was like, what was I, 19, 18, 19? I
When
guess it
you
would have been
say
19.
technology, do you mean like you saw something in the sky, or you saw
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, and I mean, it was so profound that I actually I wrote a book about it. But basically, my experience. I mean, I was in an '89 Pontiac Sunbird, my high school graduation present car. I
Yeah.
was just outside of this little town in Iowa that I was living at. My girlfriend was working at a Target store, um, and just behind. I mean, the Target store was like at the edge of this little town, and there was nothing else but cornfields and silos and shit. Nothing else.
Yeah.
But behind this Target store, and this is back in '80 or back in '91 when Targets were like little itty bitty little stores. Anyway, behind there was like a series of farm roads and stuff that nobody ever traveled other than for harvest time. So I take my car back there and run it around. I did this all the time. Well, I dropped my girlfriend off at work and she worked all day and I got bored waiting to pick her up. So I drove back behind the Target store it's like a couple miles back there and I drove my car down on that road and again, no cops, no houses, no anything. And I cruising and I've done this 100 times at this point. I'm cruising down this road and all of a sudden the car starts shimmying and jumping and all that. And I swear to God, I thought it was an earthquake. I thought, wow, it's an earthquake. And so I stopped the car. I jumped out. And as soon as my body weight left the car, it started missing and all that. The engine did. And then it shut down. All right. So
Yeah.
I'm standing there thinking, oh my God, this car's got like not even 3,000 miles on it. I just fucked my car up. Pardon my language. What am I going to tell my dad? That kind of thing. I'm thinking like, you would as a teenager. And this is wintertime and this is in middle of nowhere in Iowa. It's cornfields everywhere. Of course, there's no crops. It's wintertime. All of a sudden, I mean, there's no noise or anything. I look up and I see this giant, like like a giant dark red orb. I mean, like a maroon light, if that makes any sense. It was probably hundreds of yards in front of me, but it was just traveling along really slowly, and all of a sudden it dropped. And it lost about half its altitude and stopped, and it started expelling this bright material. I mean, like molten material. Okay, it was so bright that I couldn't even look at it. I mean, I had to like this and look into the windshield of my car to see it. By the way, my car was shut off at this point. My car shut down. So I'm watching this thing, and it crossed the road. Well, there was no road where it was, but it crossed in front of me, I should say. And then it dropped again. and then came back up and did the same thing and dropped some more material. And it started back on its merry way, trying to gain altitude and move on. Next thing I know, I look on the right and then I see this weird small light coming in real fast. It was a small orb, real bright light, like almost as bright as the sun. About to say, well, I won't say as bright as the sun, but the color of the sun. Comes in. As I'm looking at it, another one comes in from behind me, from behind my shoulder, and scared the shit out of me like I wasn't already scared. So these two things converge on this big one, and they straddle it like imagine a basketball with two tennis balls next to it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
they sat there for what I thought was 15 minutes or so, and then all of a sudden the big one, it lit up a couple times, like sort of lit up and then stopped, sort of lit up and then stopped. Best way to describe it. Then all of a sudden it comes on, becomes the same color as the other two, and they shoot up. Now I thought this was like 15, 20 minutes, right?
So it was like they absorbed it.
No, they were repairing it, in my opinion. I think that's what they were doing. This thing was in trouble, and these two little ones converged on it, and whatever they did, they actually repaired it, got it started, or whatever its process was, its propulsion system. And as soon as that did that, they all three took way up, shot way straight up in the air. And I mean, I could still see them, but they were so high up, they looked like one little bar at that point. And then boom,
There
they
was
took
a
off.
show I was watching last night. That's why it's so amazing to me right now, because a show I was watching last night, he does, missing people, and he was
Mhm,
talking about how there was a blip on the, air traffic controller screen
mhm,
and shouldn't be there. And so they couldn't figure out what it was. So they sent somebody up there. And I think you'd have to watch, I probably am shading on the details, but what's catching me is the story you just told. Hi,
mhm,
Dennis. The that this particular other craft that they didn't know what it was, they send up another one, and then they verged together. They converged
mhm,
together, like the other one seemed to absorb. They thought they were going to come apart, like they were going to, they didn't expect to just see one and
mhm,
not see the other one after the two met. And so when
mhm.
you were describing what you were seeing, in my mind, I'm like racking my head thinking, what year was that? Like, I wonder if you were a distance away witnessing what they were witnessing on a radar screen.
Well, the crazy thing was about the whole deal when they left, my car came back on. I don't mean it turned back on, but I mean the lights came back on, the stereo came back on. Back on. The stereo is just blaring static. So I ran over to the car and it was like one of those cars that had the push button, the rocker button stereo. You push this side for up, this side for down. And it was just blaring
Yeah,
static. So I just hit the power button. I look over and the clock is flashing 12:01, like the car had been reset. So I get in the car, turn it on, it lights up, no problem. And I thought, I'm going to be late to pick up Melanie. That was my girlfriend at the time. So I
yeah.
spun around, tore ass back up the road. It's just a few miles away. I pull into this Target store and it's completely closed and she's not standing there. So we only lived like maybe a mile and a half away. I get
Hmm.
home and I walk in, she's home, all the lights in the house are on. And she's freaking out, pissed off at me. Oh, yeah, talking about responsibility and all that. And I'm like, but wait. Anyway, I finally got her calmed down. I said, listen, I can't be that late. And she's like, well, bullshit. And she grabs me by the wrist and drags me to this clock in the kitchen we had, the quintessential plastic clock from Target, the $10 clock. Everybody's got one or had one.
Yeah.
Um, and it was sure enough, it was an hour and a half. So I was watching this thing happen for an hour and a half. But
Yeah,
the
that's
problem
what they
was,
say. There's a loss of time, like a lapse in time. Like some of them will think they've been gone a day and they've been gone 7 days. But
to
I
me, I
do
think it was
believe,
just I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
To me, I think it was just I was just so blown away. It was just so mind-boggling what I was seeing that I
Yeah,
just
it would take
misjudged
you some
time.
time to even be
Hmm.
able to drive after that.
I tell you this craziest thing. I love this girl. She was my high school girlfriend. We moved up together in college and all that, and I loved her and everything. But when I explained this to her, and I'm like, listen, when I finally got her calm down. I'm like, listen, this is what happened to me. My eyes had to have been this big around, freaked out. And again, I was a kid. And I explained, I shared the story with her just like I shared with you. And she's like, what are you smoking? What are you drinking? I'm like, you know what? I'm late to pick you up for the very first time in our relationship from work. And the first excuse I come up with is a UFO. Yeah, we're finished. We're through. I'm sorry.
Right.
And sure enough, I did leave her like after that semester. The craziest thing was we went upstairs that night, turned on the local news, and people all over the state were talking about fire in the skies and all kinds of weird things that they saw in the sky that night. I'm like,
Yeah, I'll tell you one night. And the funny thing is I totally understand what you're saying. If you're by yourself and you see something like that, it's almost hard to believe your own eyes. So if I wasn't with somebody for this story that I'm going to tell you, that I wouldn't believe my own eyes, because that's the only thing that can confirms it, is that somebody else is there to see it. And so he was, I was sitting there. We were both just sitting there. We were smoking a bone. Looking up at the sky and shit. And so all of a sudden, and I know that I was looking at the sky pretty intently, because we were just, it was just something we do, like looking at the, but we weren't talking or anything, just whatever, just looking at. Anyway, so next thing I see this V shape thing, and it was large. It would have to be large, but because I could see each white, it had white lights that were going on it, this V shape, and it swung pendulum. Like, first I thought it was a plane, but like it was quick how it was. It didn't fly up. It appeared. That's the thing about the object, was that it didn't fly in. It wasn't, how sometimes we'll watch something. Yeah, it just showed up, and then I said, so I'm looking, like I said, first I thought, wow, that's a big plane, but there was no sound or anything. But then I'm noticing that it's just staying where it is, it's swinging pendulum. And I said to my friend, I go, Walter, what would you say that is? And he said, wow, sorry about my dog. He hears things. Sorry about that. Just when the story was getting good. Right? I go to him, Walter, what would you say that is? And he looked at it and he said, well, I'd have to say that's a, and he said, I was going to say plane if it didn't just disappear right before my eyes. And that is what it did. It disappeared before both of our eyes. I mean, that's the thing. It appeared before mine, so I was already like, but you're not sure, But this thing was like, it didn't turn out the lights and fly away, so that you still saw like a black silhouette against the sky. It didn't do that. It just was gone. Yeah, like almost like portal light.
Right.
Like, yeah, that's what I would think, that it's like a portal.
Well, I'll tell you, they had the ability to move in incredible speeds. I mean, my second encounter was on a boat that I owned, and I had a group of people there, and it was even probably more profound than my first one. That was the only two I've ever had, but it was enough for me to realize. I mean, well, I'll put it this way: the question of whether or not we were alone in the universe was absolutely answered for me the first night in Iowa. I mean, this is not something that, not the kind of technology that we're playing with, any other government on this planet is playing with. This is so far above that. Even, 30 years later, there's just no friggin' way. It's like what we're playing with is even close.
Now, let me just think, how you just said alone in the universe? That made me think of also in I don't know if I mean religious, but more like in a faith, like a godlike kind of sense. So, but they're both so opposite. Oh, I don't know if he kicked himself off or if I kicked him off. Hopefully he'll come back, because I really want to ask him.
Yeah, you guys have a good conversation.
Yeah, he's pretty nice, huh?
Yeah, yes, he has a channel, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, great channel. A great channel. Yeah, very interesting. They show interesting stuff. He has a pheasant. voice to talk to, to listen to. So and so does his partner on there. Hi.
All right, he's back.
Hey.
What's the name of your channel,
Yeah.
Tommy?
I got knocked out. My channel is actually my personal channel is Tommy Highway TV, but
I dropped that link too. Let me find it for you. Tommy Highway TV. I've got it. Go ahead, keep talking and I'll drop it.
but the UFO Man channel is another one that I do a lot of my work over there. Again, to be honest with you, I after 20 some odd years, I just got laid off a couple weeks ago, and I may be retired, and I may be doing like a UFO. The UFO thing the whole time now. In fact, I just got back from Roswell. I'm probably going to go ahead and do the Nevada thing. I think within a couple of weeks.
You ever talk to any
Did
scientists?
you camp out at Did you camp out at Roswell?
No, I just stayed in a hotel, the Roswell Inn there.
Oh,
I want to
okay.
go back. My intention was to go in and just try to meet some people, figure out the lay of the land. But once I told everybody what channel I was with and all that, and give my business card and all that, like the UFO museum, they're like, listen, next time come back, call us ahead of time, and we'll give you a private tour. You can video the whole thing. Now I videoed everything anyway, but there were people around, and it's hard to really get the job done when there's people around. But they offered me the whole 9 yards. They were really nice people.
Tommy, have you ever? Excuse me. I just want to ask one question. Have you ever interviewed any astrophysicists? Any NASA rocket scientist or whatever? I don't.
No, we haven't done that at this point. Our focus has been on the actual person that's actually had the sighting, so to speak.
Okay.
We are having Stephen Barone on Saturday. He's the gentleman that has the channel UFOs over Vegas, and he's probably, in my opinion, one of the premier ufologists out there these days, at least in our generation. I'm not talking about Stan Freeman's and the guys from our father's generation. I'm talking about us. So that should be an interesting interview for him. We want to get it more into this. Here's the thing. I was a government employee for a bunch of years, more years than I want to think about. And being in the position that I held, I had to keep my mouth shut about my experience. So I had two experiences that I literally had to keep a lid on pretty much my entire life. Then I went into the private sector, and I decided to go ahead and tell about talk about my experiences. We even wrote a book about it. These things are real.
One more question. I said that was going to be the only question, but why? What would be the point of the government not wanting the general public to know that, or government officials to not want the general public to know that there was a UFO landing? It would be pretty hard to cover that up. You'd have a lot of.
It has been hard to cover it up, but here's the thing. Imagine, okay, let's look at this from a couple of different points of views. First of all, let's look at this from the balance of power on the planet as far as militarily. Okay, military power. Imagine if China one day showed up and said, "Oh, by the way, we have technology that we've been working on that's maybe let's say 100,000 years ahead of anything else anybody else has."
Right.
Okay. Then you potentially tip the balance of power. Then that could actually cause some sort of a conflict because nobody's going to be outdone like that because at that point, whoever has that technology, they win. Okay. Everyone else is at their mercy. Yeah. So you got that aspect of it. And again, this is just my opinion. The other aspect of it is, well, people, and I think the Men in Black movie with Tommy Jones, he said it best in his line in that movie. A person is smart, people are panicky idiots, and he's right. And if you look at the pandemic, the things that we've gone through with the pandemic, and it's not like we're all dropping dead in the streets here. Okay, sure, it's a bad thing, but that's not this isn't like Ebola, right? But I've actually been in line at the bank where people were so panicked that they're actually social distancing in their own cars at the bank. Okay, things like that. So you have to worry about the panic, the panic that something like that could cause because some people are just, you, me, and everyone here, sure, we can handle it, but there are a lot of folks out there that just can't. They don't know how to process something like that. So there's several reasons, and I understand why, to a degree, the government is not disclosing everything, although what was it last week? Trump's director of national intelligence came out and admitted that they've been tracking these things. They don't know what they are. We're going to talk about that on the show on Saturday night as well. I mean, this was the biggest soft disclosure in my lifetime, certainly. That this guy came out and said what he said in depth.
What do
So
you
you
mean? The
folks should
one
know
like that they recently came out with when they were showing that footage of
the
the
Tic Tac.
government?
Apparently,
Yeah.
the Tic Tac is just the tip of the iceberg, according to this guy. And again, he was the director of national intelligence. And he probably said way more than anybody in the government would have wanted him to say. And we're going to discuss that on the show on Saturday night because it's that profound.
You guys
Again, in
have
my
some
opinion,
good stuff on your show. You really
thank you.
do. And everybody really gets, you could tell everybody's intently.
Hello, you still there?
Remember the cow?
Oh yeah, the cow drop. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Hmm?
that was
Yeah,
how it flew
what
up
the
like
hell was
that. That
that?
was crazy.
What the hell was that? I know, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you don't rent a helicopter in the middle of the night and drop a cow through the barn just to hoax it. You know, you don't do that.
Did
I
it
mean,
drop it or did it pick it up first and then drop it?
that's what I think it did. It picked it up and yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, what was that? That was see
I feel
that.
like I want to watch it again.
Yeah, you
You
should
know?
absolutely. One of the things that I found so interesting about my trip to Roswell when I was in the museum is that they have the actual recording of the Roswell radio broadcast from the crash, and they're talking about Curtis LeMay and all the people that were involved. The generals, they're getting quotes from the generals. The news media is actually getting quotes that yeah, we have a crash saucer and the whole 9 yards. You'd have to go out and again, please check out the show on Saturday and listen to it. But this is the actual broadcast. And I mean, and talking about, they were interviewing people in Wright Field, which is Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, exactly the neighborhood I grew up in, no joke. And all of that. And I mean, they call it at the museum their smoking gun, one of their smoking guns. And I'll tell you what, they're right because it is. And again, you just
I
when you
lost
hear it,
you
it'll blow your mind.
for a minute. I lost it, like froze for a minute. Did
Oh,
it?
I was just saying that one of the things we're going to be talking about on the show on Saturday night is that one of the exhibits in the museum has the actual radio broadcast from Roswell from when the disc crashed, and they have quotes from the military, the General Curtis LeMay, I believe it is, even tell where they're going to take it. Wright Field, which is Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, where I'm from, where I grew up.
I
So
watched it
yeah.
though with the guy whose ranch or whatever that it landed on. He was,
Yeah,
he
Roswell.
it was black and white. He was giving an interview
Mhm.
about it and
Yeah.
how, they came and at first it was no big deal, like they were thinking, and then suddenly they came back and everything was blocked off. What do you think about Mel's Hole? Have you heard of that?
Which one? Sorry,
Mel's Hole.
I'm not familiar with that.
Secular.
Yeah,
Secular.
yeah, I'm here.
Can you mute your mic in between? Like,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I feel bad saying that.
No, don't. I understand.
That it's hard to, yeah. I'm like, wow. Mel's Hole is, have you ever heard of Art Bell?
Oh, sure, absolutely. Big
Right.
hero of
I'm
mine.
just getting into like, there's so much stuff out there,
Mhm.
to watch. I mean, I'm really interested in this shit. Like, I was so amazed at the stuff I was reading about the Salton Sea and how, these companies were just dropping, even accidentally, these bombs that they were test
Mhm.
bombs,
Yep.
and then they just move on to New Mexico and
Mhm.
start doing it there.
We
And
got a
how,
big problem. We got a big
yeah,
problem in the South. I'm sorry. In the over in the Pacific, there's a set of islands, the Atoll Islands, where we've got a nuclear shit pile, essentially, just the most horrible stuff on Earth that's sitting there leaking into our food chain, and no one's doing a damn thing about it. I think that's really
yeah,
interesting.
nobody does anything.
Nothing.
And I get it. Everybody thinks they're just one person. I get it. But at least,
Well, I mean the military, because it's a military. It's a former United States military test site. That's where we tested all of the stuff that was so dirty that we didn't want to test it in New Mexico. That's how we did that. We also tested nuclear weapons against like fleets of old ships and crap like that there. But all the nuclear waste and
Yeah,
everything
they
else,
all the fish
we
are
store it there.
dying. That's where tilapia
Yeah,
come from.
right. Exactly. Those waters. And the thing about it is that stuff, that material, as it's leaking, is no doubt getting into the food chain, and we're eating the food. So,
Ministry says they killed Art Bell's son. Well,
I don't. Yeah, I
that
don't
Dave
know.
Politis or whatever, his son just killed himself. But I wonder.
It looks like the Art Bell thing was the Art Bell's son had some serious issues. He had some sexual problems with the law, things of that nature. That guy had some issues. He was one that fell way, way, way far from the tree, if you ask me. Art Bell, though, I tell you, he was a cutting edge guy in my opinion. He really stuck it out there. He was a pioneer. I mean, he was the modern day ufologist, really. Not only ufology, but UFOs and just every other strange thing that happens in our world. And Art Bell wasn't afraid to go there.
You know, that's something. I'm sorry. I'm listening. I'm listening to you talking about Art Bell, and I'm like, I didn't know what happened with his son. Did he kill himself or something?
I know he's deceased, but I guess this must have been 15 years ago or so. Art Bell was at the top of his game on his radio broadcast. I don't exactly remember. You folks have to Google it, and I don't really know the whole facts of it myself. But something about the kid did a sex offender deal, some kind of he did something sexual and it was against the law, that sort of thing. I don't know if it was a young boy, young girl, what the story was again, but anyway, so Art Bell had it was so bad that Art Bell had to step away from the mic for a while. That's when George Norrie, who was like a semi co-host, he was like Jay Leno to Johnny Carson kind of thing, right? He'd come in once in a while, so he kind
Yeah.
of took over, and then after a while, I don't know what the circumstances were, but Art Bell got his personal life worked out. He basically came back and took over for a while, and then retired, and then started his own thing.
Well,
Then he
what I'm
died.
saying is, what happened with his son? How did he die?
Oh, I heard. I want to say I heard suicide. I'm not a real big up on it, but I mean, again, the guy had serious issues. I mean, the sexual. He's like a sex offender and all that. So I'm not real sure if he died of natural causes. I want to.
It
I think I
would
heard suicide.
behoove, like, I would like to look into that because I didn't know
I'll tell you what. I'll
that
find out right now.
Art Bell's son had died, and that's really cool. If it is suicide, that's pretty coincidental that Dave Paulides from the 411, that his kid just died of suicide last month. I mean, that
Could
could
be.
yeah, that
Oh, I
could
don't
show,
put.
if there's other ones, maybe that could show a pattern of what goes on when somebody starts trying to reveal stuff.
Well, there have been people that have, I mean, a lot of people in ufology that have died of very unusual circumstances. I mean, that's a subject that, in fact, that's a great idea. Thank you for that. I'll get with Tim about that because that's one that we should show that we should do because there's a whole bunch of people that have died under, really strange circumstances. Healthy people that were happy and healthy and jumped out of a window for no reason, stuff like that. I mean, and
Oh,
it's happened.
God, yeah.
That's a great idea. I appreciate that. I'll hit that up with Tim for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that bears looking into because,
Hmm.
yeah, if it's
You mentioned
suicide,
big.
because here's another thing too, right?
Mhm.
If you're good at, you know, listening, because I told myself I wanted to listen to these too, right?
Mhm.
But now thinking about going further into it, now knowing that Art Bell's son died, that's, and ministry said, no, I did not take away your rent on purpose. I'll tell you, I'll tell you later, but I did it. It was by accident. I didn't know. But anyway,
Let me let me pull my
um,
PC up here. I'll tell you exactly what happened to Art Bell's son here. Give me one moment.
yeah,
We will find out together, by golly.
oh, okay. So Dave Polita's son had turned to
Okay.
Krishna, like religion right before he died. But the thing is he was making these videos. I didn't look at them. I put them on my to watch later list, and they are dated a month ago. And he's doing a sermon. I don't know if he's just speaking it or if he actually shows his face. I didn't look, but now it makes me want to look because I want to see if he looks like he displays any kind of traits of somebody who would kill themselves,
Well, I
or
mean,
if these two guys got their kids got killed and how many others. Like I bet you there's a link of even that missing in the come on, there's a link. It would behoove someone to check out what they did for occupation.
yeah,
And
my
whatever those people who go missing in the national parks, and I don't mean the little kids, I mean, people
hmm?
who go look what they were into for an occupation. Did they know some government secrets? Did they make something? Did they do this? Look at Iron Butterflies. Remember Iron
Hmm?
Butterfly and I got it Avita?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, yeah. And he ended up becoming, like he was real smart and he made some invention. And like
Hmm.
years and years later, they found his van. He got killed or he did something to do with his invention. Crazy shit.
Yeah,
People
well,
get,
there were children in the 50s that were blamed on years later blamed on possible UFO abduction. They just disappeared, things of that nature. But you know, I think the bottom line here is that I think the government has this information. They're trying to release this and trickle it down is what they're doing right now. Again, what we'll talk about on Friday or Saturday on the show, what Trump's guy, former national intelligence guy, dropped. I mean, I have rug burn on my chin from my chin hitting the floor. I mean, I couldn't believe that that was actually said, and of course, mainstream media is ignoring it and all of that. But I mean, this guy, he went into a lot of depth that it was just jaw dropping, shocking. It really was.
a lot of
So that,
shit is. And you're right about the media. The
yeah,
media were just, they're really the bottom line. If they want to show it and if that's what shows up on YouTube all the time or on when you search and that's what shows up, they can
yeah.
control exactly like how much we see.
Well, that's exactly what they do politically too. That's why. Well, I don't want to go there, but yeah, that they are doing that as we speak politically. I mean, they're only showing one side of the cube. There's another,
Wasn't that called Operation Mockingbird or something like that? In where they had said they were going to just consistently, it was about giving the wrong,
yeah,
lies, stories,
control the
lies.
masses. Yeah, control the masses. Well, if you look,
Yeah,
there's a
yeah,
movie that
exactly.
came out. There's a book and a
Being
movie
downtown.
called A Brave New World, and we're talking. This is probably early '80s movie. It's also a book, but I suggest everybody go out and forget about George Orwell's 1984. Go out and watch that movie, A Brave New World. And when you see that and you try to superimpose what's going on in our society over that, it fits like a friggin' glove.
That
I
was
mean, it's
Huxley, wasn't
scary.
it? I'll
I'm
do as
sorry.
Huxley. That was Huxley that wrote that.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Check it
I mean,
out.
I never read the book to be honest, but I did see the movie in high school, and I'll tell you, it's wow. When the shoe fits, we're all wearing it. What can I say?
Boy.
Anyway, folks, listen, I appreciate you having me on. I really do. I'm going to go ahead and hit the sack. Um,
Okay.
but nice meeting everybody. Please make sure you go out and check out our channel at UFO Man. And again, every Saturday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Central, we do a show, and we got a doozy coming up next week. Okay.
Well, I'll see you there unless we get abducted by a UFO.
Hey, never can tell. Don't show them your ID and don't lend them any money, whatever you do.
Right on.
You guys have a good one. Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Have
Bye-bye.
a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Survivor Girl, you've left your co-host alone to run the show. Now I have to entertain all these people here. Hello? Hello there. All I got to say is I'm a man of science and reason. I think there's a logical, rational explanation for everything that happens in nature, but who knows? I would be interested in what astrophysicists have to say on the matter. Of course, maybe they wouldn't be allowed to talk freely. There'd be some conspiracy theory that some excuse. Survivor Girl, are you okay? Are you on? Are you around? Maybe she took her dog outside for a walk.
TV, but
I dropped them.
some odd years I just got laid off a couple of.
Hey, everybody, I think I'm going to call it a night. I don't know what happened to Survivor Girl. Hope she's okay. She just kind of abruptly disappeared. Hope she's all right. I think she lives alone, so she wasn't feeling in real good spirits tonight. She had some chemo, and then she has to go back and do radiation and some operations. So let's just try to support her and be there for her. So, and send her some good vibes and some love. She's got a GoFundMe page too. So, all right, you guys, I'm gonna head out. Have a great night.
Thank you, Terry. I appreciate that. My phone went dead and it's going to go dead again. So all I was able to do was just get a little bit like that. So very sorry that that happened. So good night, guys. And Tommy, I'm sorry that you got cut off. Look at Terry. You're so cool. Oh, you are the sweetest. Oh my God, that just tugged at my heartstrings. He said peace, love, and tacos. Oh my God. That's the sweetest little thing. Night, everyone. My phone's gonna die. Man, that was a good chat, too. I'm so sorry. Bye.